Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nanda Eka Putri. I'm from Economic Education 2018. I will present a report on fieldwork practice with the title Internship Program Report Koperasi Bhakti Arthama Fiskal Badan Kebijakan Fiskal Kementerian Keuangan Republik Indonesia. The following topics will be discussed during this presentation. The first, I will discuss the place and time of an internship program. 2. Literature review of company. 3. Flow of work and implementation of work. 4. Obstacles encountered and how to overcome obstacles. Next is the place and time of internship program. Implementation of fieldwork practice at the Koperasi Bhakti Arthama Fiskal, which is location on Jalan Waindin Raya, number 1, parking motorcycle, Ministry of Finance, 2nd floor, Kelurahan Pasar Baru, Kecamatan Sawah Besar, Jakarta Center. Fieldwork practice was carried out for 24 days, starting from January 11, 2021 to February 11, 2021, with 5 working days starting from Monday to Friday, and working hours start from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Next, I will discuss literature review of company. History of Fiscal KBA, established on April 7, 1999 under the name Koperasi Pegawai Badan Analisa Keuangan dan Moneter Departemen Keuangan, Bhakti Arthama or KBA. However, on this September 5, 2019, change name becomes Koperasi Bhakti Arthama Fiskal or KBA Fiskal. KBA Fiskal is a cooperative whose members are civil servant or PNS who have served and previously served in the Fiscal Policy Agency, as well as several civil servants in other echelon 1 units within the Ministry of Finance. The vision and mission of KBA Fiskal in carrying out its activities. KBA Fiskal vision is the realization of optimal service to improve the welfare of members. And mission 1. Increase the professionalism of cooperative management, administrators, supervisors, and employees. 2. Improve the quality of management and governance that is transparent and accountable. 3. Increase the active participation of members as cooperative owner and cooperative service user. 4. Optimizing assigning resources to improve cooperative service and business. 5. Conduct mutually beneficial business cooperation in the framework of cooperative development. And next, the following is the organization structure of the KBA Fiskal. Based on the organization structure, the activities of the Savings and Loans Unit, other business unit, the Wasada unit are managed by the manager and supervised by administrator, supervisor, and builder. The Savings and Loans unit is directly supervised by the secretariat. The Wasada unit is directly supervised by the treasurer, while the other business units are directly supervised by the chairman of the cooperative. Then once a year there will be an RIT, which is directly supervised by supervisor and builder. Next is flight of work and implementation of work, always placed in the Savings and Loan unit and other business unit. Savings and Loans business. It was self-borrow run by USB supervisor and built by administrator KBA Fiskal, that is secretary cooperative. Program with owner effort self-borrow is loan regular, KTA KBA, or Bank Dharma Syariah, Bank West Java Banten, loan humanity. And other business unit other help to optimizing service to member KBA Fiskal and aspect called help raise SHU member. My first job I did was editing the RIT book. I did some editing process as table then made the organization structure more attractive and through the table intograph. Then I added new rows and columns to the table to add the 2020 sales turnover results. This is to make it easier for the manager to make the 2020 RIT report for the 2021 financial year, so that the manager only adds the nominal turnover to the table. This is just one table editing from another table format. Then, I also grab using the data from the table. This is to make it easier for manager and members to see the progress of each year, whether it is decreasing or increasing, so that we can see whether that difference each year has nominal figure that is much different or not from the previous years. Besides that, I also made the structure of the new package organization more interesting to look at, because previously the organization structure of the Bhakti Arthama Fiskal was only black and white and less attractive to look at. So the manager asked to me an attractive organizational structure without changing its shape and color that are not too flashy. The second is make flowchart various KBA fiscal SOP. I made SOP flowchart to make it easier for members to carry out various activities in KBA Fiscal. SOP meant in the form of flowchart come from each unit of business activity, such as SOP for member registration, credit for good, cash advance, employee leave, withdrawal of SUP operational funds, borrowing through Bank Jabar Banten, borrowing through Bank Danamon Syariah. I cannot use knowledge in making flowchart because each form that will be arranged to be made into a flowchart has a different meaning for each form. And third, inputting and recap accounts receivable USP regular. USP regular account receivable recap is divided into 5 stages during 1 month. I input the installment period and the monthly installment amount that must be paid according to what the borrower chose, as well as the amount of receivable from each borrowing member. In addition, I also calculate short-term and long-term receivable. Next, fourth is inputting and recap report loan on Bank Jabar Banten. I did a recap of installment per member from Bank Jabar Banten. The installment recapitulation has 3 columns list, namely principal, interest, and purchase. Principal is the principal installment of each member loan. For example, a loan of 500 million with a tenor 120 months. Then the monthly installment principal is 500 divided by 120 months. And the result of this calculation is the principal installment per month. Then the interest is the monthly installment of 500 million in accordance with the predominant interest rate. Meanwhile, by the amount that must be paid per month, namely the process from the total installment of principal and interest per month. This calculation system uses the annuity system. And next, 5 is to do examination data savings member PKF unit and DGPA unit. Because to make sure before the final SIU result are calculated and notified to all members, I made the exciting data recapitulated with the data on the SmartCop web. If there is data that is not suitable, I record it on the paper to be given to the administrator staff, so that the data will be readjusted again and will be input again on the SmartCop web. Savings that are checked are basic saving, mandatory saving, voluntary saving, and SIU before tax are taken. And next, 6 is inputting tax SIU final 10%. After rechecking the member savings data, I input the tax for the final SIU of 10%. In inputting the 10% tax, I input directly on the KBA fiscal website, namely www.kbaof.smartcop.id. After closing the book at the end of the year, the SIU result will be discussed at the RIT, which is 6 months after the book close. Before the final SIU result is announced, each member will be subject to final SIU tax 10%. Then the SIU then is be deducted from taxes is the final SIU that will be distributed to members and has been discussed at RIT meeting. And next, 7 is inputting and recap participant insurance health on plan 900 and 1250. I help the manager to input and recap the member who will participate for the new coverage periods. I input data for member who register per family card. The data that is input the NIK of the head of the family. the name of the member were registered, account number, date of birth, age. This input required of to be submitted to the health insurance company. After inputting the overall data, I made a registration confirmation containing complete participant data and the number of insurance installments to be paid according to the plan chosen by the insurance participant. This card will later be handed over to health insurance as form of confirmation for the participant who have fixed their registration. After, the insurance company will send a registration confirmation to the participant home address listed on the registration confirmation. Next, I will explain the obstacles encountered and how to overcome obstacles. The first difficulty in socializing and communication. On the first day of implementing the field of work practice, I feel a little difficult to socialize with the corporate operational staff. I feel awkward just to chat or ask questions if there are difficulties because I'm afraid to disturb the operational personnel or hardworking or afraid to spoil the atmosphere. The way I handled it to adjust to the work environment by looking at several situations to study that there are no awkwardness in work situation. Because the work environment is everything that is around the work that can affect themselves in carrying out their duties. So, it takes comfort in advance with the work environment. Secondly, the number data make to it get through some markup and to-do error. When inputting member installment data, saving data, insurance data, sometimes some member data is missed and not input. This is due to the large number of registered members and it makes me slightly wrong, so that it requires the practitioner to always check his work again so that errors do not occur. The way I handled it is by trying to increase self-confidence in entering the work environment, because according to Lauster's statement, the self-confidence is an attitude or feeling of confidence in one's abilities so that the person concerned is not anxious about acting, can feel free to do things he likes, and is about responsible for what is done, so that it's carrying out the work given by operational personnel. The practitioner does not need worry expensive that an error will occur in work. And next is operate application that not yet even used previous. When inputting as high savings and tax data for member, it requests me to use this markup application used by the Bhakti Arthama Fiskal Cooperative. Because this is first time for me to use this markup application, I find a little difficult and need guidance from operational personnel to study the application system. The way I overcome it is by trying to improve smooth internal communication to operational personnel to ask for help if there are difficulties, so that the practitioner will be good in doing difficult work. Because it is in accordance with Ningram's statement that communication is one of the tools in carrying out the process of achieving goals. So, if the communication goes well and effectively, it will result in greater organizational utility in achieving organizational goals. It can be interpreted the communication is very important because good communication can understand the nature of its employee, increase cooperation and job satisfaction. So this is presentation for me. Apologize if there is wrong what I said. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.